And coach, the team fought hard tonight. Bottom line, though, didn't get a lot of stops in the second half. Brooklyn scored 77 points in that half.
Yeah, look, it's really frustrating. I think, first of all, the first 6 minutes of the second half were horrendous from an effort and energy standpoint. We just didn't bring anything, that starting group at the start of the second half. We weren't running back hard. We had no sense of urgency defensively. We dug ourselves a hole. Guys came off the bench, and we fought our way back into the game. The thing you have to understand when you're playing, okay, so Kyrie's a really good player, and they've got a ton of shooting, okay? What you can't give up are, like, some things are hard to stop, but you can't give up the easy baskets, like the transition hoops, and I think there were only 3 of those. Well, it's basically a one-possession game. Losing guys on a cut, not blocking out Bruce Brown coming to the boards. Like, all of those breakdowns are the ones that get me. Guys even running off a screen, hitting a 3. I didn't think we did a good job getting through screens, but okay, those shots aren't that easy. But just the breakdowns, we get up on Kyrie and a guy rolls and we're late on our rotation. Like, it's frustrating because it's not like we're losing games by 20 and we're not good enough. We're right there. And if we would play with a little more sense of urgency, if we would cut out some of the turnovers, not that we had a ton tonight, but we had some really bad ones. If we would, our rebounding's been good all year. It wasn't tonight. If you would do some of those, like, you come out with wins. And, it's just we're not getting over the hump and doing that. Too many breakdowns over the course of the game, just breakdowns, lack of concentration, things like that end up making the difference in the game. Our defense, which has been getting better, was awful tonight. It was just awful. I didn't think we played well, focused, or hard consistently. So our offense got us back in the game and kept us in the game. But defensively, we were really, really bad.
You had 41 bench points tonight, and we saw Najee and Kyra play real meaningful minutes down the stretch. How do you think they performed?
Yeah, they played well. We went with Najee maybe for too long. Poor guy was exhausted, but he's playing well. So we wanted to leave him in the game. It just, our guys, the thing is, they haven't let go of the rope. They're trying, but they're trying from an offensive standpoint, and they've been trying harder defensively. Again, it's just breakdowns, and I don't think our guys understand how many points we're either giving up or leaving on the table. I'm not talking about making shots and things like that. I'm talking about, plays that are not easily, but are relatively easily taken care of. That's to me the frustrating part.
Yeah, at what point do you kind of cross the line where you no longer say that the youth is the excuse, or I guess where is the point where you say, hey, some of this is youth and some of this is a bigger issue that we have to address?
Well, I know I've mentioned youth at times this year. I hope not. I don't think I've ever used it as an excuse. Like, you're a professional basketball player. Like, to me, where the youth comes in is, Kyra's a 20-year-old point guard. Zion's a 20-year-old handling the ball. You're going to make some decision mistakes. Running back on defense has nothing to do with youth and inexperience. Getting down and competing defensively, nothing to do with youth and inexperience. Blocking people out, nothing to do with youth and inexperience. Getting beaten on a cut, nothing to do with youth and inexperience. So those things, there's no excuse for. Now, somebody, comes and traps you as a 20-year-old point guard and you don't make the right read. Okay, you need time to do that stuff. But I don't think tonight our lack of experience had anything to do with the result. Nothing. All the plays that we left on the table, every one of those guys is capable of making. Rotations, running back on defense, talking, things like that. Totally capable all the time. Totally capable. So when do we cross the line? I've crossed it long ago. Like, you're an NBA player, you've got a job to do. Some mistakes I'll chalk up to inexperience, but tonight, none, not one.
Hey Stan, you mentioned the energy not being there for the first 6 minutes or so of the third quarter. The one change you made coming out of that big timeout was Najee for Bled. Bled doesn't play the rest of the game. Was that because of the lack of energy? Was anything else wrong?
No, listen. Listen. It had nothing to do with Bled. Okay, I know what happens when you only make one sub. It looks like you're singling somebody out. It had nothing to do with it. I wanted Najee in the game. I wanted Najee's energy in the game. Okay, and Bled's who I chose to bring him for. It wasn't Bled's the guy screwing up. It was, I wanted Najee in the game. And then because I pulled Bled early, and then we went a long way, we got back in the game, right? And so I stayed with those guys. And now as you hit like the, middle of the fourth quarter and stuff, now Bled's set forever. And so I didn't bring him back. It was not, I know what it looks like, but it truly was not me like saying Bled was or even thinking Bled was the problem or anything else. I mean, we were all the problem. Me too, by the way.
Stan, I know this is kind of simplistic, but how disappointing is it to be in the position you guys were in 4 games ago? It looked like you were kind of right on the cusp of getting into that playoff spot, and now you've lost 4 in a row. It does feel like it's slipping away a little bit. How just disheartening, disappointing, however you would describe it.
Yeah, well, it's very frustrating, and I wouldn't say disheartening. I mean, I've still got heart. I think our players do, right? You're watching them every night. I mean, it's not like they've just let go of the rope or anything. But the frustrating thing for me is it's not like you're going out there every night and saying, geez, that other team's just a lot better than we are. It's 2 or 3 plays. And again, our guys focus on, shit, I should have made that shot or, whatever. That's the wrong mindset. Like, those things happen. You miss, you make, whatever. Like, Lonzo was so upset at the end of the Washington game that he missed the corner 3. All right, guys miss. Guys miss. No, but the things I can run back on defense, like every time. I can run back on defense. Like the second to last basket they got in the first half tonight is a run out off a jump shot. No, you can't give those up. If I'm supposed to pull in and be the guy rotating to the roll man, I got to be there. That's not a thing that I can miss. I've got to do my job. That's what's frustrating to me, to be as close as we've been and have our guys not having that kind of sense of urgency.
Do you think that message has sunk in better than it did early in the year? Or do you think you're dealing with the same frustrations that you've kind of held throughout?
I don't know. Like, in terms of our defense has gotten better, Scott. The numbers will say that. Sometimes it's the offense, too. It's lazy, careless turnovers, of which we had some tonight. It's the plays you should be able to take care of. That's what I'm talking about. Like looking at the film and going, we didn't run back. Well, come on. Like, these guys will focus on, I think, a lot on, Kyrie made, tough shots and the whole thing. Okay, he's going to do that. He's really good. So you can't then also give up the other stuff, the layups. We gave up 58 points in the paint. It's ridiculous. There's no reason to be doing that. So I don't know, like, if they fully the thing I don't know, like, do they understand? We talk about it. I think they do from the scores. To me, what I keep talking about is how close we are. You look at the point differentials across the league. we're basically a middle of the pack team when you look at all the numbers, and yet we're 8 games under 500. You know, like we're right there, not to be a great team, but to be a decent team. We're right there, and we don't take care of. That's what's frustrating. I mean, if you go out there every night and just say, you know what, they were a lot better than us, you know, tonight, or they are a lot better than us, okay, that happens. But man, that's not what's happening. That's just not what's happening. I mean, I think, you know, we had the Atlanta, Brooklyn on the road back-to-back where we got smacked and smacked. And that's really been about it. You know, our guys have been right there. You got to do your job and get this stuff done. And that's where my frustration is. And it's frustrating not in an anger at them. It's frustrating that, from my standpoint, we haven't been able to get that done and get that across and change it.